If you've ever opened an embroidery order and thought, wait, that's not what I designed, this video is for you. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through a handful of design choices that can wreck your embroidery orders and the quick fixes that turn a design file into a product you'll actually want to wear. Let's get into it. Before we talk about what can go wrong, let's talk about what's actually happening here. Embroidery isn't printing. There's no ink, no transfer, no screen. Instead, there's a needle pulling a thread through fabric, thousands of times. Stitch by stitch, your design is built out of actual thread. And that one fact, that your design is made of thread, not ink, changes everything. Because a needle can't do everything a printer can. It can't stitch hairline detail, it can't recreate realistic photographs, it can't fake a worn-in look, it physically can't. But here's what it can do that a printer never will. Give your design real texture that you can feel under your fingers, and a finish that lasts. The kind of thing that makes you go, oh, this is the real thing. So every rule we're about to go through, it's not me being picky, it's just physics, thread physics. And when you design with those rules rather than fight them, embroidery gives you something printing never will. Texture, depth, a product that feels premium. So how does your design actually get from your screen to the machine? Here's the thing. An embroidery machine doesn't see your design the way you do. It can't read colors and shapes. What it needs is a precise set of instructions. Where each stitch starts and ends, which color thread to use, how dense the fill should be, and the exact path the needle should take. So before any embroidery happens, your design has to be translated into those instructions. That translation is called digitization, and without it, your design simply can't be embroidered. And digitization isn't just a file conversion. A real person, an embroidery expert, looks at your design and figures out exactly how to stitch it with the goal of getting it as close as possible to what you imagined. Everyone in the industry has to do this. It's not a Printful thing, it's an embroidery thing. A lot of people ask if they can just send us their own digitized file. Honestly, we'd rather do it for you. Customer-made files often run into the same issues. Wrong size for the embroidery area, unavailable thread colors, or stitch types our machines can't handle. Letting our team handle it guarantees your design comes out consistently across all our global facilities, exactly the way you imagined it. So at Printful, we handle digitization for you for a fee, and once your design is digitized, you can reuse it on the same product as many times as you want. Once that's done, your design is ready to be embroidered with a few different stitch types depending on your design's needs. Now, let's talk thread colors. With standard embroidery, you've got 15 thread colors to pick from, and in any one design, you can use up to 6 of them at a time. If your design uses a color we don't have, don't worry. The design maker will just match it to the closest one we do. And if you want more control, head to the color and details section in the design maker where you can swap in the exact thread color you want. If 15 colors aren't enough, you can also try unlimited color embroidery on many of our products. It's similar to traditional embroidery, but the thread is dyed as the machine goes through the process, which lets you embroider gradients in basically any color you want. If you want the full breakdown, I've got a whole video on it linked below. Okay, here's where you better start taking notes. These are the 8 mistakes our team sees most often, the ones that turn a great design into a disappointing product. Every single one is easy to avoid once you know what to look for. The easiest mistake to avoid? Designing without knowing how big your design can actually be. Every Printful embroidery product has a downloadable file that shows you the exact size and shape of the embroidery area, basically a template you can drop straight into your design app. You'll find it on each product's page under the File Guidelines tab, or in the Design Maker here. Take this classic dad hat, for example. Download its template, drop it into Illustrator or Photoshop, and design inside the lines from the start. 2 minutes of setup saves you a design that doesn't fit. Every letter has to be built out of thread, and the thread has a minimum thickness. So if your letters are too small or too thin, the machine can't physically form them. Keep your letters at least 1/4 of an inch tall, about the size of a chocolate chip, and at least 1/20th of an inch thick, that's about 2 credit cards stacked. And stick to bold, sans serif fonts like Arial, Helvetica, or Myriad Pro. Cursive fonts are trickier to embroider, so save those for your printed products. If you're working in Illustrator, set your units to inches in File, Document Setup. In Photoshop, you'll find it under Photoshop, Settings, Units, and Rulers. Either way, you'll always know where you stand. On a printed t-shirt, a grunge or worn-in effect works beautifully. On embroidery, it literally falls apart. Remember, embroidery is solid thread on fabric. There's no way to fade a stitch, no way to rough up an edge. So what actually happens if you try a distressed or textured effect? Our team of digitizers has to use odd shapes and unusual stitch types just to make the design embroiderable. The chunky parts of your design get flattened into solid shapes, and the thinnest details get stitched with what's called a run stitch. A single line of stitching so fine, you might not even notice it on the final product. Either way, the worn-in look you designed disappears. If you really love a distressed aesthetic, save it for your printed products. For embroidery, adapt your design with bold, solid shapes and clean edges, and let the texture come from the thread itself. Negative space is when you leave parts of your design empty so the fabric color shows through and completes the picture. On screen, it looks crisp and clean. On an embroidered product, though, the edges around that empty space often come out wobbly and uneven because the machine is stitching the outline of a shape that isn't really there. Just note that this is different from a transparent background, which is totally fine. The issue is only when negative space is being used as part of the design itself. To avoid negative spaces, fill the empty space with a second thread color. Even a subtle contrast works. You just need to give the machine a solid shape to stitch around, and it'll reward you with a clean, sharp edge. Most embroidered designs have a maximum of 15,000 stitches. There's an exception for large embroidery placements on some Printful products like certain t-shirts and sweatshirts, which can go even higher. But for everything else, 15,000 is your limit. And that sounds like a lot until you realize that a solid background eats through it fast. Fill a 4-inch rectangle with solid thread, and you've used most of your stitches before your actual design even starts. If you do keep that large solid background, we'll have to shrink it, sometimes by half, to stay under the 15,000 stitch limit. So your design will come back tiny. The fix is quite straightforward. Turn that solid background into an outline and keep the inside clear. That way you keep the framed look, but instead of stitching every inch of that rectangle in thread, the machine just stitches the outline and lets the fabric show through. Same design intent, with way fewer stitches. People love the idea of putting a photo on an embroidered patch or hat, but photos have thousands of subtle color shifts, soft shadows, and tiny details, and embroidery just can't do that. It's thread. It's built for shapes, not shadows. If you try to embroider a photo as is, it'll come back as a muddy blob every single time. The workaround? Turn your photo into an illustration first. You can do this manually in a design tool like Illustrator, use an outline vectorizer like Vector Magic, or even ask an AI tool to convert it for you. For example, I fed this photo of a lion to ChatGPT and asked it to vectorize it with a prompt specifying the 15 thread colors available. It came back with this. A good starting point I could drop right into the Design Maker. I've shared the exact prompt in the description if you want to try it yourself. Either way, the goal is the same. Bold outlines, solid colors, high contrast, more like a logo than a National Geographic photo. That's what looks good in thread. This one's for the hat designers out there. If you're embroidering on the side of a baseball cap or snapback, you've got a lot less space to work with than on the front, especially for text. Stick to a maximum of 10 characters per line. That's roughly the word embroidery. Easy to remember. Any longer than that, and your text might come out too tiny to read. Go for a single word per line, a small logo, a date, a set of initials. Side embroidery just looks better when you don't try to cram too much in. Gradients look gorgeous in print, and they can look just as good in embroidery. There are just a few things to keep in mind. With standard embroidery, gradients aren't possible, period. The machine can only stitch solid colors, one thread at a time, with no way to blend between them. So if you upload a gradient design, it'll get converted to a solid color and the result might look nothing like what you pictured. The fix for standard embroidery is simple. Swap your gradient for solid color blocks. If your design has a gradient with 3 shades, pick the 3 you like best and use them as solid colors instead. Honestly, most designs look sharper this way. But if you really want a gradient in your embroidery, you've got unlimited color embroidery. This technique blends colors as your design is being stitched, which means you can get a true gradient effect. Just keep in mind, it comes with its own set of rules. First, keep your gradients long and gradual. A smooth transition needs to be about 150 to 200 stitches to fully blend, which is roughly an inch of space. 0.86 of an inch if you want to be super exact. Anything tighter than that and you'll end up with what looks like a hard line rather than smooth blends. Second, gradients should run side to side, not in a circle. Linear gradients work. Radial ones, the kinds where color spreads outward from a center point, just don't. Trust me, I tried it. It did not go well. Third, think about your design size. For anything under 1.5 inches, 1.37 inches to be exact, run the gradient horizontally. Vertical gradients only really work if your design is taller than that. And finally, gradients on text need extra care. They look best when stitches flow naturally, almost like the letters are handwritten. On bold sans serif fonts, the color shift can look sharp on individual letters, so give the gradient several letters to spread across. Serif fonts can be trickier. The little feet on each letter get stitched separately, which makes any color shift on them really stand out. Short transitions on serifs end up looking choppy. If you want to try gradients, go with unlimited color embroidery and design with these in mind. Now you've got everything you need to design your first embroidery order with confidence and have it come back exactly the way you pictured it. And one more thing, embroidery is just one of the techniques you can use with Printful. If you want to know how it stacks up against DTG, all over print, sublimation, and the rest, check out our full breakdown right here. I'll see you in the next one.